Hello, everyone. This Hangout on Air is live. I am Rosie O'Kelly. This is the Rosie O'Kelly channel. It is the last day of summer, September 21st, 2017, here on the Rancho. And I tell you what, guys, I got tired of editing this afternoon and this evening. When you come back with 2 hours of video, raw video that you have to work with, and high ed that you have to work with, and lay down music, and it gets to be, you just want to pull your head out of the mixer a little bit and just chill out and chew the fat and say hi to everybody, and you know, just have a little fun on a Thursday night. I have permission from from the boss. Susan Brown, nice to see you, honey. I'm wearing my official Under Armour Cal football jersey tonight. Hi, Kevin. How are you? And thank you, Kevin, for your comment on the video today. And we can get into some of that stuff. I'm just barely scratched the surface on our Bad Boys adventure here. I know I've gotten some messages, and some people have said on Facebook and some other places, this is not what I really expected to see on travel videos. Well, welcome to Rosie's world. It's going to be travel a little bit out of the ordinary, to say the least. So I'm enjoying editing it. It's difficult when you go on a trip and you use two cameras and you have to come back and combine that, you know, for bring those two things together, that what they call an A roll and a B roll camera, and you bring that together at the end. Thank you. Susan said it was very interesting, though. I think it's going to be more so as we go on here. You know, I had some encounters. You know, I don't want to let too much out of the bag, but I'm not, you know, I'm one to sort of insert myself into the action a little bit too. So I'm not shy about that type of thing. But it's awesome to have you along, Susan Brown. And it's the kind of thing we want to do, as I said at the beginning of the adventure, and I guess we just really have scratched the surface. We are going to be different when we travel. If you want to see people on sailboats with lush, beautiful tropical scenery and teeny weeny string bikinis, well, you might see me in that. But I'm just saying for the for everyday travel. Yeah, Kevin Chambers is commenting on the got to be the world's strangest gift shop of art that's produced by guys on death row art. It's got to be the strangest gift shop in the world. And hey, Lake Shadow, yes, my fingers are sore. I'm tired of editing. I'm getting a headache of looking at, you know, you gotta, and I've made some errors, and you know, and you got to go back and take it down and put it up and some stuff like that. But it's fun. But it's what's, you know, this is not HGTV. This is not the Travel Channel. This is not the Discovery Channel. This is YouTube. So yeah, they say, that's right, Lake Shadow said, they say editing is a bitch. I'm a good editor. I like putting music to stuff and things, but you know, I had to do a lot of research for this trip, particularly about the history of Berkeley and protest and things like that at Berkeley, going all the way back to the, you know, 1930s and stuff. It's fun. I love being a research historian, but then you got to come and put it together. It's fun to be in the middle of it. It's fun to shoot it. It's great, the places that you get to go, and sleeping overnight and boondocking on the streets of Berkeley. It's good stuff. But then you got to come home and you got to relay that on YouTube. And I love you guys on YouTube. Don't get me wrong, but you can't rush these things out. So I decided tonight, just slow down a little bit, chill out, relax, because you guys are my friends, and come on here and just shoot the breeze a little bit. But yeah, Kevin, when I walked into that San Quentin gift shop, I didn't know what to expect, you know, when I walked in, and there was all level of art for hey Jalen, how are you? There was all level of art for stuff that you found yourself wishing that this person, their life had taken a different turn and a different direction, that they didn't end up in a facility like this, because their artwork was beautiful, that they did. And then there was some, like at the other end of the spectrum, Scott Peterson, his art on the counter there, that it kind of turned my stomach, you know, to be that close to the hands, you know, to something that had been crafted by the hands of somebody that had done away with his wife, wrapped her body and tied it down with cinder blocks and weights, and then wrapped it in a tarp, and under the cover of darkness on Christmas Eve in the rain, gone to the Berkeley Marina, launched the boat, and went out into the middle of the bay there and dumped the body overboard. I mean, we're talking about gruesome, grisly stuff. So it's, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Kevin says you're showing the real life, not being acted. That's exactly right. So it's going to have some difficulties and some other stuff, but you know, you walk around and see, hey, Coach 9500, how are you? You see, you stand there and you just get a chill, because you know that the hands that created this are the hands that pulled the triggers, held the knives. Sometimes entire families were wiped out by that, by one person. And you know, you saw the video of me standing at a distance from San Quentin with the blurry background and talking about some of the people that, just scratching the surface of one of the some of the people that were in there. And that had a few editing snafus too. Nice to see you, Whiskey Rock and Roller in the house. Awesome sauce. Yeah, Coach 9500 carrying the shingles all day long up and down the ladder makes me awful tired. Gerald, God love you. You know, you're working. That's a good thing. That's an awesome thing. You're working for your money, and that is good. Yes, you know, I'm fearful for you, because roofers have some of the highest workers' compensation rates because of injuries of exactly carrying books of shingles up and down ladders and stuff like that on some of the smaller operations. But I'll tell you, Kevin, when I was talking with the guy that administered the program there, and he told me that something like 82% of the money, that if you buy a piece of art, 82% or 84% will go to the prisoner, and the rest will go to the state. And I'm like, well, what about the family? You know, I'm thinking to myself, how about the victims? And so I couldn't pull the trigger to put money in the pocket like that. It just went against my grain at that particular moment. The guy kind of, you didn't get it on camera, but the guy kind of sensed I seized up. But you could also sense that he was used to people coming in and kind of having that cold chill reaction when you know. And I remember asking over the counter, do you have any work from some of the more notorious people in here? And I think he doesn't want to name names. I understand that. And then you know, I specifically asked about Scott Peterson, who I remember from the early 2000s, when a couple of years after 5 years after I'd moved here, the terrible deed he'd done. He'd been on the, you know, he was on every night on the news with Gloria Aldrich and Amber Fry, and remember all that stuff. And to be face to face, and when that guy told me, you know what, you're standing right in front of the piece that Scott Peterson made, right there, and I was like, the little hairs were standing up, and I'm like, oh man, you know, just a little bit whacked, you know. And it's just like, I suddenly had this sense that I was surrounded by death in that room, because I felt like I was in the middle of a concentration of literally hundreds of murders right there, and it was a freaky feeling. Now I am going to write the Warden Davis there at San Quentin, and arrange a tour on the inside of the facility. So I don't know if I'll be able to, probably will not be able to take any video. Maybe not. I mean, fucking Golden State Warriors go in there and play the Bad Boys basketball team and stuff, and that's on YouTube and stuff. Yeah, hey Monroe, how you doing? Monroe says Amber Fry was a fucking hero. Yeah, she told the truth. You know, she came out and uh, you know, it cost her a lot. It cost her dearly. Did she know that she was part of an illicit relationship? Probably, but she did the right thing at that point in time. So hopefully she's able to rebuild her life in some fashion. But I asked about Richard Allen Davis, and that name may not ring a bell with some of you, but Richard Allen Davis was notorious in the little town of Petaluma, about 15 miles south of Santa Rosa, 10 or 15 miles. That on an evening, I think it was probably in 1999 or something like that, he snuck in the bedroom window of the class house there, and Polly Class was having a friend sleepover, and Richard Allen Davis came through the window and abducted Polly Class and took her out and murdered her and put her in a ditch. Now, he didn't, you know, it took a long time for the body to finally be discovered. And this guy was such a lowlife that when it came time for his, you know, when the judge passed his sentence and they say, do you have anything to say before, you know, I give my verdict? And he turned to the families and the survivors, father and mother, and he lifted both hands and he just flipped off the family, threw them the bird with both fingers. I mean, it was unbelievable, the character, the lack of character of this guy. And the only good that came from that was the Polly Class Foundation was begun for missing and exploited children. So, yeah, it was terrible, Susan. I mean, I just ticked down the list of people that were in there. So it was kind of I wanted to bring the story, but I didn't want to bathe in the story down there, you know, because if you saw the video, I purposely, when I edited hi Maxine, when I edited some of the shots of the prison, I would alternate shots between people on the beach, right at San Quentin, right within the shadow of the prison, having fun on the beach, and then cut to the prison, and then having more fun on the beach, and the dog chasing the stick, and then back to the prison, and then the boat going by with the tourist boat of people looking at San Quentin, the tourists coming by. And then, you know, there was freedom and there was captivity, freedom and captivity there. So it was really lucky that I had my really good telephoto lens. Hi, Easy Listening Lounge. Nice to see you. One of my vintage audio friends here. So I was glad I took the right complement of lenses, because they make it exceedingly difficult to get, that sits on a position of land where it's very difficult to get some clean video unless you're out on the water. Or I had to hump it up like a donkey over to this peninsula out on this point of land there to get some good shots. Now, some people asked about that Georgie, because when we walked away from the rig, Georgie was whining, of course. Now, Georgie's still getting used to us. You know, he's been attached to the hip with Jen, so we're trying to get him used to the habit of 10 to 15 minutes from being away from the rig. But the thing you have to realize is we always have the windows down. The rig is white, the van, and that day was about 71 degrees around there. So we knew he'd be very comfortable. We knew we were gone for a short period of time, and we monitored him. I looked over the fence from up the hill, and after a couple minutes, he sits down on the driver's seat and he just kind of watches out the window at that point. We would never, you know, that's our baby doll, King George here, so we would never let anything happen to him. Hey, Coach, howdy doody. There we go. When Scott dumped his wife, he was close to the prison. That's right, Whiskey. You know that Scott Peterson can look out every day on a clear day, and he can see Berkeley across the water there. And I specifically asked the guy, and you know, is he in that? What area is in? Because they have several areas. They have A area, B, C, D. A area is like fully cooperative inmates, like Scott Peterson has a reputation of being super cooperative in there, so he gets to engage in the art program. They have a B, which is sometimes you're a good boy, sometimes you're not. It's like M&M's, with nuts or without. Some days you feel like a nut, some days you don't. And they get partial privileges. And then you have the C, which are generally bad a lot of the time. And then you have the D, which are uncooperative at all in the extreme. And they have to be bound and taken everywhere. And everything is a struggle for the guard that has to deal with them. They get no privileges. They get no yard time. They get no family visitations. They get nothing on those kind of things. So Jalen's, Rosie, we know, I guess Jalen's been in the inside of the Florida State pen down there. So it's quite an experience, and the best is still yet to come on the trip as we engage the locals in Berkeley and get involved. Donde está Chibisu? Whatever. Hi, Sai. Is that the dog Chibisu or? And you know, we came away with some free shirts too. Under Armour. Are you kidding me? Hey, Ordinary World, how are you? We had a 25-year-old cold case solved here in Missouri. Oh, in Massachusetts this past week. Justice for Lisa Ziegler. Her killer is Gary Shara. Oh, okay. Jalen says, no, I mean Scruffy. Okay. But isn't this nice? These Under Armour shirts, just for posing for a picture, if you promise to put it up on social media. Their big homecoming game is Saturday against USC at the Strawberry Canyon up there. And you bet they'll have 90,000 people hooting and hollering up there. And they're 3-0 so far this year. So they got a pretty good quarterback and a pretty good team. So what's going on with you guys? Now that I took my head out of the editing mix for a little bit. Oh, some people. Oh, thank you. Yeah, can you believe, Jalen? It's an Under Armour shirt, and they just had boxes of them there, and you know, she's just handling it out. She worried that the size might be a little tight for. She looked at Jen, then she looked at me, then she looked at Jen, and was like, "We only have medium left." I'm like, honey, I'll make it work. Don't worry about it. Just hold up like you're taking a mug shot, right? Oh, I got to keep that down there. But anyway, yeah, it's a 25-year cold case. That's awesome. Yeah, it's cute. You know, it's the only Under Armour, you know, Rosie ain't paying Under Armour prices, right? For things. So I was happy to get it, Susan. I really was. So I sent Jen to the doctor today. She's had this, you know, this cough. She ditched it for a while and it started to come back again. So I sent her to the doctor today. And they didn't give her any antibiotics, even though she's, you know, coughing up green goo and stuff. But hopefully she'll be on some kind of Mucinex or something. Hey, Violet, how are you? Long time no see, Violet Banyan in the house. Yeah, Under Armour costs big money. I mean, the boss wants me to get an Under Armour shirt to go out on the you know, crabbing when we go out in December to wear underneath. Yeah, it's an infection. I thought so because you know, I've been in clinical medicine for a lot of years, and generally, if you're, you know, coughing up green goo, then it's pretty much symptomatic that you should have a course of antibiotics, but I can't second guess on that. So I just, you know, she has her infusions coming up next month, so I can't have her, you know, her health being compromised in this period right here. So yeah, how have you been, Violet? Hope you've been okay. Now, the other bad thing about the trip is I forgot the fucking laptop computer. So I had to do all of the activities from the Samsung Galaxy 5 phone down there. And I'm like, I got so frustrated on Tuesday night. I ran into the T-Mobile shop in Berkeley, and I whipped the phone across the counter. I'm like, help me. I can't get on to, anytime I tie onto a network, it's like it's denying me the ability to tie into it. Hey, Lance, how are you? Good. Violet says, pretty good, working a lot. Yeah, Whiskey said doctors won't give you anything anymore, just take your money. Well, you know, they're having this big pushback because they're worried about the efficacy of antibiotics or being lost because they were definitely being overprescribed. And I work in facilities where they, you know, they're not going to hand them out like they, you know, they used to call it a covering. They used to call it a covering prescription years ago. In other words, if you were slightly worried that maybe it wasn't a virus, maybe it is bacteriological, and this person's already in a pretty frail condition, I'm just going to go ahead, just in case I'm wrong, shh, don't ever say those words, I'm going to prescribe an antibiotic just as a covering measure. And it's like nobody ever got in trouble. It's like the old IBM. Nobody ever got in trouble for buying IBM, right? Well, nobody ever got in trouble for prescribing a covering antibiotic. Well, those days are pretty much gone. It's also like the huge crackdown on opioids and things, something else that we rarely put out. And then the word gets out pretty quickly that you are not, you know, you're not a place to go to at the places that I work, the two places that you're not a person to go to get those. And I feel sorry for people that get hammered on prescription drugs, because I've seen it over the years of people that come in and they might have you know, pinched nerves or something. They've gone through several surgeries and they just can't get relief, and they're on chronic pain management, and it's just a wheel. It's just a spinning wheel of distress that they're on. And I got to tell you guys, you're not going to believe where we had dinner on Tuesday night either. You'll get a real laugh out of that. Lance said, isn't it interesting how certain drugs that were once obtainable by prescription are now over the counter? Well, it generally works that way. I remember when, for me, Claritin was a godsend. When Claritin came around, I came out to California, I came out to Sonoma County, and I didn't know that this is the worst place for grass pollen. It's like number 5 in the country for grass pollen. And the first May I was out here, I thought I was going to be hospitalized. It was so bad. I felt like my skin was crawling. I was taking Allerest, I was taking Benadryl, and nothing would help me at all. And finally, you know, I got Claritin was a relatively new thing, and what a godsend. And you know, and I always doubled my dose on Claritin, and it just it pulled me through. Oh yes, Susie, I got your vibe. Yeah, Whiskey says I saw people lose everything they have because of pills. It's sad. I mean, we've had people literally just coming in on their knees, just crawling and asking. BB, I think you should take Rogaine for your receding hairline. Well, you know, maybe not. I don't know. What do you guys think? We'll leave it to them to decide. For me, I'd rather just pop on a nice wig and be done with it. So, but you know, that's just me. But I'll take it under advisement there. Then Lance says, but the ones that matter, the what people that really need it are the most costly. Yeah, they're the ones that kind of get shoveled under with the whole situation. That's exactly correct. That's exactly correct. I've got a lot of memories over the years, and a lot of things have changed. The most disturbing to me is the rise of just marijuana for everyday use, and the way that's changed the young people and that I've seen. That's a real challenging thing. Yeah, diet helps, and wigs are thousands for nice ones. Exactly. You know, at my age, I'm not going to worry. You know, I'm not going to worry about it. I focus on the body, you know, filling out that Under Armour. Your cow, golden bears. All right, guys, I'm going to get some yogurt. I'll be right back. I got to raise this camera a little bit. Don't want to be giving any Ponte shots here. I hate this damn thing. I've lost the ability to adjust the real wide angle one that I like. Ugh. Oh, I love my Windows XP. Yeah, well, yeah, Lake Shadow says that daggum idiots, Rosie takes this shit so well. I'm battle worn and you know, been in the fray for years. Yeah, just a random kind of hangout. Just I got tired of editing, Susie. I was sitting there just getting a headache. You know, I'm shooting with two cameras. I've got the GoPro and I got the good Olympus camera. And you come back with two separate SD cards and about 100 gigabits of video altogether, which equates to about two and a half hours of video. And you got to try to get that down into 15-minute segments and stuff. I got tired of it. Oh, okay. Yeah, Lance, I don't even have to read it. I know it's coming. You suffer from rare anaphylaxis called mastocytosis that requires me to have EpiPens everywhere I go, and those jerks try to charge exorbitant amounts of money for them. Yeah, but that one jerk is going to jail that tried to raise that one prescription like 5,000% Scribble or whatever the hell his name is. That little prick's gone to jail. Yeah, shame on these. Shame on some of these. I've seen the same thing. Antibiotics that used to be dirt cheap. Yeah, your life depends on it. That's right. 245 per pen. Are you kidding me? What a joke. What a joke. What a joke. My injectable, you know, I'm on estrogen every 2 weeks. I get the needle in, and that used to be $45. Jen, when did that stuff double? The estrogen, the injectable. Yes, it did. It used to be $45 for me. We'd get stuff wholesale, and then it went up to $90. Well, I'm just saying I had the inside track on pharmaceutical supplies. So. Susie said they don't pay you for your time and beauty. Woo. I don't think anybody's had more fun on YouTube than I've had now. I just never chose to go over to the dark side, engage in all that, you know, nonsense. Hey, Mark, how are you? I think Mark I think Mark was the one asking about Georgie. And yeah, I was saying earlier, Mark was saying George was crying. Can you get him as like a service dog? He's what's called a comfort dog for Jen, but service is a whole nother issue. They're specially trained dogs and stuff. But one reason we bought the white van was to make sure that it would never be a magnet for heat. Number two, we always keep the windows down, and number three, we limit our time away from. We're trying to get him used to being, you know. So we're always very careful. That trip it was never really any warmer than 75, probably never warmer than 78 inside of the van. Jalen says nonsense. Okay, yeah. That's what Jen says. Jen has a comfort dog too, because at the beginning of the video where we're walking up the hill to the main entrance to San Quentin State Prison there, you could hear George kind of whining away. And he does that the first couple minutes that we take off. We had the same thing in Armstrong Woods. Oh, are you kidding? Jen loves the dog more than me. Yeah, that's right. Lance says, thankfully, my insurance company calls bullshit on that and only allows $15 per pen. Florida Blue is who I have, formerly Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Yeah, that's good. It's like, you know, if you don't have insurance at the emergency room or something, they'll want to charge you $5,000 to set a bone or something like that with the x-rays. And the doctor, professional organization bills you, then the friggin' hospital bills you, then the radiologist bills you, and blah, blah, blah. And if you have to be put under because you have a bone that's hanging out or something, the anesthesiologist is going to put his bill in there. Thank you, Susie. Susie just hit this super chat. Thank you, honey. Mwah. I like Susie's. That's a nice round number, 11. But if you go in with insurance company says, hey, we're only paying $500 for the doctor services. We're paying $500 for the hospital, and we're paying another $500 for other things. It's going to be $1,500 instead of $5,000. So take it or leave it. Thank you, Susie. That certainly covered our gas for the last trip. Thank you. Violet says, I've been taking Harvoni for the past 6 months. It's extremely expensive, like $40,000 for 28 pills each month. Thankfully, I only paid $5 each month. Medicine is so expensive. Yeah, especially some of the early stuff, Violet, where they have to, you know, they're trying to work off that initial research and development. They fold all of that expense into the initial, and they put it sky high. Thank you, Lance. I'm just sorry you have to go through such nonsense. Yeah, Jalen said that the check is in the mail for me for $21. Imagine that. Fear the spear. That's funny. Thank you, Lance. I appreciate that. We love sharing our lives with you guys. Everything you do. Violet, it will. You know, when I first started out 18, 19 years ago, there was no, Hep C was a dream to cure Hep C. Now it's common to be cure Hep C. Oh, same thing for Hep B. I remember when, you know, especially among Asians, it would just be passed at birth from one to another. Hepatitis B. These people would come in with compromised livers and all that. Yeah, it'll be fine, Violet. That'll be the good news for you. It's been another miracle. It's been another miracle. I'm thinking a lot of breakthroughs. That's good. Mark said mine is dormant. Yeah, so once in a while you get your viral load done and all that. And then you're very happy when the viral load starts to go down. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, the state of medicine is a mess, guys. It is a mess. The thing that bothers me, and I'll tell you, let's see, do you ever get those tips, Rosie, or do they take a big cut? Yeah, Susie, they don't take much. I think it's like 10% or something like that on it. It's a YouTube thing. That's why I say anything else I wouldn't have it, because it's a YouTube portfolio product built into YouTube. It's like a tip jar. Some people get bent out of shape because they don't understand. But if you guys don't think I work hard, you know, putting videos out and doing stuff, well, it's nice to get a tip once in a while. It's really sweet. Yeah, I hear you, Mark. Bad mistake once 20 years ago. Yeah, a lot of that. I forgot when I was going to start. I've just seen a lot of change and a lot of positive things that have occurred. But the bad thing I see is our emergency rooms are used as, you know, I mean, it's like every day at both facilities I work, we get overnight reports from the emergency room of who came in. And they're either 70% of them are either somebody was drunk and fell and hit their head on the curb, somebody else was knifed on the street, somebody else was all banged up because of a fight, somebody else was driving a motorcycle intoxicated. I mean, it's like 70% of this stuff is like, it's crazy stuff. And these things this has gone out like $10,000 per visit, and somebody's paying the cost of that crap. Jalen's like, I know you work hard, Rosie. Said $2. Not too much longer, Jalen. So pretty soon, when I'm done in December, I'll be just sucking off the tit of the tip jar from then on. Violet said, do you think there's really a cure for cancer? I've seen different documentaries where it's been said that they had a cure, but pharmaceutical companies won't allow it because there's too much money. I don't think they're quite there yet myself. Violet, cancer is a very difficult metallurgical process physiological process to understand. You know, it's basically cells that are growing. Certain cells are just growing out of control, and it's very hard to, you know, not only do you have to turn off the cells because it's easy to stop cancer. You just kill the patient, and the cancer is done too. The trick is to keep the patient alive and kill the cancer. Now that's much more selective and targeted in the way that you have to approach that therapy. That's why chemotherapy is so radical, because chemotherapy is targeting the fastest growing cells in the body, which are the hair and cancer. So that's why people lose their hair, because the chemo attacks the fastest growing cells and kills them in the body. And then the hope is that you've killed the cancer with that chemotherapy, wiped it out. Well, sometimes it comes back, sometimes it doesn't. Did you get a lot of people with jock itch, Rosie? No. I don't think we ever had one case of jock itch, Rob. You know, you could go to, you can just go in the same thing for athlete's foot cream. It's just, you're done. As soon as you feel the old itchy or whatever, it's done. Susie said, damn, it's so easy to hit that send button first, but geez. It is interesting, Violet. I like to think that these companies are on a little higher plane with their ethics than to to withhold a cure. But there's always that chance. But I just know that little by little they're getting a handle on it. Hey, I'm on it. Nice to see you. I'm glad you're enjoying. I guess that's the word. The videos. We got so many more good videos. I'm just going to slow down on placing them and editing now. I was driving myself crazy. Here, I wanted to take a break. Yeah, watched a bunch. Your early vids, pretty risque. Yeah, Mark, I'll tell you, I was kind of a wild child. I'm not saying I won't be again, but it'll be more appropriate for beach and other settings. I'm on body reconstruction for a couple of I took down a really wild stuff too, so don't want YouTube taking Hangouts out too. No, I don't think that they will. Thank you. Bernard said, hi, Rosie. Just watched the video of San Quentin. That's your best video. Beautiful video. Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Just hit this super chat. Thank you, honey, for $2. And it's awful nice of you guys to give a tip, but only just tip what you can afford. Don't I hate to take money out of people's pocket, but everything you donate, we're putting into travel and stuff. Dedicated. Yeah, thank you. Oh, I'm not going to hate. I'm on. I guarantee you. Yeah, she said sent you a PM. Don't hate. I won't. I take all of your PMs to heart. Thank you, Bernard. Was that the first one or the second one where with the death row artists that all the guys on death row that are in the art program there? Yeah, Jen's going to go to bed early tonight. She's trying to beat this cough that she has. She didn't get the medicine I think that she needed today, so. Oh, you see that little, there's a little, it's called Super Chat. It's just a little $ thing down at the bottom. It's like a Starbucks tip. That's the way to think about it. If you enjoy the videos and the experience, but it's not for support and maintenance and buying. It's for just, we're putting it for our travels and stuff. So, oh, the second one. Okay, awesome. Yeah. I'm still a little creeped out by the whole experience. Yeah, they said she had an upper respiratory, not lower. So I insisted that she go to the doctor today. So I'm probably going to have her call tomorrow and tell the doctor what's going on. Her regular doctor. So her regular doctor will prescribe what I think she needs. Yeah, Rob said inmates on death, their appeals go on for decades now. Yes, they do. And in California, they're awful lucky because since 2006, the big mistake in 2006 was that the Department of Corrections was found to be secretly renovating the what do you call it? The death room at San Quentin. And thank you, Bernard. And they got caught, and Schwarzenegger got pissed off because he thought they were trying to, do something without his knowledge. So in 2006, he suspended all, executions. The last one was, I think, 2006. So, I mean, we got more people on death row here than Florida and Texas combined. Yeah, hot shower clears the pipe and turn on. Yeah, she'll be taking a hot shower. Yeah. Jen, Imani said you cough less if you lay on your left side. Interesting. Yes, Jen for sale. No, they did an X-ray for her. So, see, she's having her first infusion of this MS, this new, just very new treatment, and she's got to be in top shape for that. Yeah, so Jen, what are you waiting for? Get in the shower. What analytics are you watching? Oh boy. Well, Lord knows you're featured in enough of these videos. Jen's my main star in
The Lord knows everything.
Huh?
The Lord knows everything.
Yeah, go get a hot shower now. We'll just stop moping around the place. Spank, spank, spank. I'm on it. Did I do something really bad or just slightly bad this time? You can be honest with me. It's funny. Oh, let me check my phone. Oh man, oh man, oh man. What does that mean, Susie? So don't drag her out without facilities. What does that mean? You think I'm putting Jen in a situation where... What are you talking about? Check out this channel. Jen just left. It's not about Marshall. Oh, I'll grab it for you, Bernard. I use 2 cameras when I'm out. Billy Vanilli was stinking earlier. Oh, Susie, don't worry. Don't worry about anything. Huh? All right. Hi, ex-ladies man phase. Nice to see you. Principally what I use when I'm walking around, if I want to be low-key, I have to kind of be careful. You know, I'm not doing the typical, no, Susie, we're more adventurous. Susie says if it was me, I'd stay home. Honey, she's loved these travel things and she's been fine. It's just that she's got this persistent thing. It's not super bad, but I want her to beat it before her thing. But, you know, you never know. You're going into some combat zones and stuff. And, you know, some people, and you get a lot of people who are tweakers in Berkeley and other kind of places like that. And they're not really into this whole, you know, this whole big schlum put into their face and stuff. You got to be a little more, you know, with all the big Sennheiser shotgun microphone. I'm going to spank you, Susie. You know, when you're walking around, if you wonder, like Bernard, how I get the good sound and you know, if I'm a great distance and I've got the blurred background, what they call the bokeh background there, you have to be able to be a distance away. So this real good Sennheiser German microphone, it only picks up like a circle in front of it. It has noise cancellation for the side of it. So that's a nice thing to have if you're going to be doing a little talking to the camera. But otherwise, this is what I use, a combination of both of these. And I got to carry a lot of gear with me, a tripod, this, and I have to take several lenses too. If you like the lens that gets the kind of the blurred background, you have to use the 45 millimeter, excuse me, the 17 millimeter lens, which will achieve that. You got to have neutral density filters on it and stuff. But for going distance, if I'm doing distance, you don't want to be in somebody's face. I have a really nice Olympus telephoto here and this Olympus has in-body stabilization to it, 5-axis stabilization. So no matter how shaky I might be at a distance, it kind of smooths that out, which is really nice. So this is what I said. We want to travel with decent gear, so we're getting better quality than just using GoPro. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, love your muff, because if you don't, I wasn't perfect on wind noise because I didn't have the little wind muff around this thing. It looks like a teddy bear when you have it on the end of it. And this can get your ass kicked, you know. You stick that in somebody's face and one of these tweakers, and you might find a knife in your side. So we try to be, you know, I've taken months to get used to using I have a ton of different lenses and stuff to just start getting comfortable for what's the best thing to use in certain situations. You're welcome, Bernard. But thank God for telephoto, you know, that I have some leeway. You know, sometimes in Berkeley, all of a sudden fist fight or something's breaking out down the street, or somebody's getting their face smashed in or something like that. I don't want to jump up right in the middle. Hold on, guys. Wait a minute. Let me get the camera set up. I want to be able to be a distance away and safely get that. You know, because let's face it. You know, YouTube is, you know, dramas is what brings people in and doing things that other people aren't doing. Yeah, that's right. Iman says, nice equipment, but please don't stick that in my face. So I'm awful careful. You guys notice on like Friday Night Foodies and stuff like that, I always ask people first, do you mind if I take some video? Do you mind if I put you in my video? I have a YouTube channel. Do you mind? No problem at all. You know, always ask first. What I don't want to ever do is just get somebody, oh, why are you videoing me or something like that. That's a no-go. Yeah, we saw it all, Susan. You're going to see it all coming up. Thank you, Bernard. Yeah, your taste of music and video filming is good. That video was so moving. On that video, I re-edited that about 2 times. I still kind of funked it up. It's not as good as I want, but at the end of it, when I put the music on, I tried to show a clip of freedom. The people out on the beach enjoying the water within the shadow of the walls of San Quentin. And then the next frame to show San Quentin, a different shot of San Quentin. Then back to people enjoying themselves. Back to San Quentin. Back to the people, the tourists on the boat enjoying, riding past and looking at San Quentin, enjoying that freedom of life. And then back to the prison to show the gates and the guard towers with the guys up there. Policing for legal reasons because they say, okay, it's a go. Well, remember, if you're on a public street, you're allowed to video regardless of what the cops, you know, they want to be a little heavy-handed sometimes and tell you, you know. And, you know, if people ask me, don't video, I won't video. It's as simple as that, you know. Thank you, Bernard. Yeah, we got some other good ones coming on the trip. You could never go to prison. So, like I said at the beginning tonight, that we're actually writing the warden down there for permission to go inside on a tour. You have to write ahead of time, and you have to ask. You have to supply all kinds of information and be cleared. Can't wear denim. I found that they have a museum inside of the gate, but I couldn't go in because I was wearing denim. Why? Because the inmates wear denim. Well, I look a little different than just always get me from the side. I'll be okay. I appreciate that, Bernard. It's the subject matter that got me a little bit. Yeah, like a check, Susie. Exactly. You have to supply your license. Yeah, no bikinis, Rob. Absolutely, positively, no bikinis whatsoever. Don't want to cause a full-on riot in there, right? Bikini basketball out in Cell Block D courtyard. It's the O'Kelly, what would you say, the O'Kelly Raiders versus the Bad Boys of Block D. Yeah, it'll be searches and stuff, I'm sure. No cameras, no cell phones, no nothing. So it'll be a story that I'm able to verbally relay. Although the Warriors, the Golden State Warriors, your NBA champions for 2016-17, did go in a couple months ago and play a basketball game that's on YouTube. So, in the prison there. Susie says, why bother? Why bother, Susie? Because it's compelling video. It's maybe it's the frustrated journalist in me to be out to want to bring fresh stuff and fresh content on YouTube. I mean, the Warriors won with their B team or C team, and so, but they didn't even put the score on at the end. They just wanted it to be a game of fellowship. Kevin Durant went in. Okay, thank you, Mark. Great. Yeah, I'm on it. Says, I'm surprised you could go on a tour in an active prison. Yes, I'm on it. And moreover, a death row, California's death row. Yeah. And remember, Alcatraz, for all of its fame, for all of the people that were housed in Alcatraz, Alcatraz was never a place where prisoners were executed. But once in a while, Alcatraz sent their guys that had killed prison guards and riots and stuff, they sent them to San Quentin to be executed. San Quentin was arguably much more badass than Alcatraz ever was. Susie says the whole indignity. I don't know, Susie. Maybe call it a fascination with that, a fascination to push the envelope of stuff and to fight for permissions to get stuff and to do stuff. Yeah, it would be interesting and enlightening. When you write to God, just say, I noticed that there are existing, hey, Anthony, how are you? I noticed there are existing videos of, people inside videoing special projects and instructors that are coming in to teach advanced safe cracking and stuff like that. Yeah, Rosie in the big house. I'm telling you, Mark. I'm telling you what, if I get in there, when it finally happens, all of a sudden you're going to hear, everybody freeze in position. We got an active jailbreak. Close the big doors. Thank you. Keith Greger says, hey, Rosie, good luck this Saturday. We got our hands full. It's homecoming for Cal with USC Trojans at home in the Strawberry Canyon. We shall see. There'll be 90,000 strong up there. Look at this, Keith. They gave me this Jen and I for free. Under Armour. I mean, what the hell? That's pretty cool, huh? Like, are you students here? Yes. I'm a student of life. Perfect. Here you go. Yes, I sure do. Boy named Sue, Johnny Cash. Yep, I sure do. I remember. Could you imagine that, Mark? All of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. You know, soon to be a major motion picture. If she can get it out alive, she'll bring the story. Hey, there we go. Thank you, Diane, Two Campers. We kind of followed you derivatively on YouTube. I'm so happy that you're home. I hope you didn't have too much problem where you are. You're awesome. Oh, okay. That was recorded down there, huh? Interesting. Dad wanted a boy, but here I am. There you go, Susie. Woo. Missy Jen's taking it easy tonight. She's taking a hot shower and getting into bed. She's still got this nagging cough, and I'm trying to get her to get some extra rest. We're going to be playing USC this Saturday. Cal's coming in 3-0. Yeah, thank you. Anthony says Rosie always fills out a shirt well, huh? Anthony, I could be Pride of the Navy. Huh? Anchors away. Dude. Oh, no. Okay, much yard debris, damage, fence from neighbor, damage to RV, AC unit. Oh. How's your mother, Diane? Hope she's okay. It's a lot to haul around. That's it, Anthony, the Pride of the Navy. Don't drop that salute. Rob. Rob, you're bad. Shoot. Hey, Rob, I was going to ask you if you were in that kind of prison art gift shop, would you have bought any of that stuff? Oh, okay. Thank you, Diane. I'm glad. Thank you for the update. Thank you. Yeah, I need to be painted on an F-18. This is what we're fighting for, boys. Jail is like Basely. That's enough tonight, Rosie. Shit. Yeah, I need to be on an F-18 Hornet, huh? Yeah, Rosie the Riveter. We do have, we did pass on the way over to Berkeley. You have to go on what's called the Richmond San Rafael Bridge to get across the bay there. And they do have in Oakland, there is a Rosie the Riveter National Museum there because, you know, Oakland shipyards were huge and Richmond shipyards were huge in the war. No, Manson is, yeah, he's not, he's been out of San Quentin for a while. He's in a medical facility now. That's what the boss, they all end up where the boss is. He's probably over where the boss is now. Boss is doing wiring at all the sick prisoners, the aged, the ones that are getting ready to punch their ticket. They're all over at where the boss is in Vacaville over there, the medical facility. Oh, okay, Jalen. Jalen says, put me down for that beautiful Scott Peterson. No, Manson was there for a lot of years. Yeah, I think next time we're over there, we'll check it out. I'm on it, the Rosie the Riveter. There's a big sign, Rosie the Riveter National Memorial or something, monument or something. Yeah, fight on, boys. Oh, I think Manson's in his late 70s, isn't he, Susan? He's pretty ill. But there's a lot that the trailside stalker. There's a guy that offed his whole family, and a guy raped and murdered a 5-year-old girl. Can you imagine that? That just turns my gut. I'm not sure how you guys feel about the death penalty, anything. No, I didn't. Bernard, you know, I went in with the intention to buy something. And, you know, number one, the idea of a gift shop of art by death row inmates was a little chilling right off the bat. And then number two, when they told me that, you know, 86% of it goes to the prisoner, 82% of it goes to the prisoner, and 18% goes to the state, I thought to myself, well, what's going to the victims and the victims' families and stuff like that? So, no, you know, I declined at that point. I'm not gonna support that. I'm not gonna. If that money was going to victims and a restitution fund, yeah. Susan, I think he's just old age. Somebody can just Google Charles Manson, how old he is. You know, it was in the 1960s, I think 1969 or 70, the Hollywood Hills murders and stuff. So, yeah, I couldn't do it. I had every intention of buying. There were some pretty little candy dishes and stuff. Yeah, Rob says when they interview the neighbors of those serial killers, they always say he was a quiet man, kept to himself. Yeah. Yeah, get him high one last time and save money. But I couldn't do it. You know, I just could not. You know, I thought particularly, I was standing there not 6 inches from Scott Peterson's model, and you couldn't see it from the top side, but he had built a model of his cell with the toilet and the bed and stuff, and it looked like it was done by a 5-year-old. You know, there wasn't any talent. He's 82. Okay, thank you, Keith. There was no talent, but I looked at that and thought that'd be a cool conversation piece, and then I thought to myself, no, you know, because I remembered back to that period of being on TV with Amber Fry night after night on Fox and Nightline and all these shows, and where's the body? They can't find the body, and then you know, unlucky for Scott Peterson, the body comes up to the surface again and washes ashore at the Berkeley Marina, and it's game over at that point. Here's a guy that it is home in the Central Valley, beautiful wife, baby on the way, Christmas Eve in the rain. Takes his boat out with his dead wife wrapped in rocks and tied all around her and cinder blocks and stuff and wrapped in a tarp. Takes the boat out to Berkeley, and in the dark of night launches that boat, and in the rain heads out there and dumps it. It's like something out of a bad Hollywood movie. You know, and I'm thinking, number one, if you're a family person, which there's no way you're going fishing on Christmas Eve. And number two, you don't go fishing in the rain, right? So there's, you got a problem right there. So, you know, no, I didn't. I was just creeped out. I got a chill, and I just wanted to, yeah, I don't get it either, Bernard. I mean, the easy thing to do is, hey, no matter how inopportune the time is you got a baby on the way. That's pretty bad, right? You know, and you're mucking around and stuff like that. But do you have to kill somebody if it's, you know, if it's not your dream? I think it took Susie. I think it took like, I think it was like, man, it was like a month later. All of a sudden, some Chinese, you know, the old Chinese were fishing out at Berkeley Marina, and here's something that just washed ashore. Good night, Gerald. Get some rest. Okay, no problem. Yeah, go back to bed for a while. Yeah, take it easy. And I just remember the horror of the family and the mother and the look on her face when her daughter was, you know, presented and told that she's dead, and Amber Fry's shock at the whole thing and being involved with this, and being the other woman. Some real bad stuff. Some real bad stuff. That's why I called it, I think the name is proper, the Bad Boys Tour. Hey, Dave. I witnessed a lethal injection at the Utah State Prison many years ago. I'm still not over it. Not a pretty scene. Yeah, I couldn't be a part of that, Dave. I just I couldn't do it. You know, we had all kinds of massive problems in California in 2005, and then, you know, the death penalty was suspended. Then they said the gas chamber is not humane, and then they did the lethal injection. And then the lethal injection, they didn't have the right cocktail mix of it. And then certain pharmaceutical companies wouldn't supply it anymore on ethical grounds. And then in Alabama, companies like, oh, we'd be happy to supply a 55-gallon drum of it if you want, no problem at all. Let's see, let your light shine. Anthony, because if you look at my recent videos, I've just started putting up what's called the Bad Boys Adventure Tour. And it's the 19th and the 20th of September, when Jen and I went on the trail of bad boys in Northern California. And we decided to start at San Quentin prison. What better epicenter of badness in America than the biggest death row in the United States and one of the biggest in the world. And then we made our way over to Berkeley with all the bad boys in the history of violent demonstrations, and threw ourselves in the middle of that to get the story of what's going on there and all the history. So that's why we're talking about that, because of you go watch the videos, Anthony. I think it'll be yeah, I want to spank you. Yeah. Are you for the death penalty, Rosie? That's a really good question. Sometimes in my past, I was very pro death penalty, and at other times, you know, I'm at the point where I kind of waver a little bit now on that. I mean, don't hate me for it, but, you know, I'm not as convicted as I used to be on that. Let your light shine. There's a guy at my church who ushers and greets. He was an accomplice to a murder. Apparently nobody knows about it. The case was closed and reopened 20 years later with DNA caught him. Yeah, isn't that amazing? That old DNA, how many cold cases have been solved. But there's one guy that's walking free, that's getting ready to walk out of a prison in Las Vegas, Nevada, that by all rights should be in San Quentin. And I think you know who I'm talking about. Hi, Darther, how are you? Yeah, I hear you're a huge story in Orange County. Yeah, I watched Cold Case File. Yeah, OJ. Yeah, Anthony wants to give a... I'm so in if you kill without self-defense. Yeah, I think so, Diane. I'm not as, I don't know, you know. Sometimes a part of me stupidly says, am I doing the same thing? And I mean, do I have that right to do that? Yes, he did something terrible, and you know, but I don't know. Yeah, OJ is cray-cray, yeah. Yeah, OJ is going to get out, and if anybody deserves to be in San Quentin, it's him. And that's why we're talking about Anthony. It's just very timely with what I've been doing on my channel. I'm editing videos, and I just had to take a break from it. You know, we literally came back with 3 hours of video over a day and a half. That's a lot. Yeah, OJ will have a higher power to answer to, exactly. I mean, you know, to put it in stark terms, we're all on death row, right? We're all waiting for our number to come up. Arthur says, my cousin was murdered by his roommate. Guy got out in less than a year. Yeah, the movie Cold Blood with Robert Blake, yeah. I remember we, in college, I was a political science and philosophy. I was a double major. And one of the things that I enjoyed taking was a philosophy of law class. And one of the big things was, there were a couple big questions. One I remember was, are lawyers liars? You know, if you have two lawyers come to a courtroom and they're on two opposing sides of the story, is one of them a liar? You know, are lawyers liars? That's a real philosophical question. But then we studied death in the Supreme Court in very famous cases down south where, you know, the South was always quick to justice, right? I mean, and they often wouldn't wait for the wheels of justice to turn. You guys know the story. They'd come with pitchforks and torches at 2 a.m. in the morning, and they would tell the sheriff or the jailer, stand aside, or we're going to knock you out and put you out of the way. But we're going in. We're going to get Johnny Clementine, and he's going to be on a tree tonight. And that's the way it is. You know, and the town would have the lynching, and that kind of thing would occur. But they did have traditional things, and when a lot of these towns down south were very poor, and they didn't have the electric power to be able to generate big surges of the voltage necessary to properly execute a prisoner. So they would have these roving death machines that would kind of go from town to town, and they would have like these generators running outside. And sometimes, you know, they strap the prisoner in, and he's shaking like a mofo, and smoke's rising and stuff. And then a judge says, "That's it, turn it off." And then the guy didn't die. You know, a couple minutes later, he starts reviving and coming to, and then, you know, all of a sudden they're like, "Okay, let's rev it up, man. Throw the juice to her a second time." And the judge is like, a lawyer jumps in for the defendant and says, "No, this is double jeopardy. You know, you cannot do this again. You've already taken your shot on this guy." You know, the name of the case was, if at first you don't succeed, fry again. You know, and they took this case all the way up to the Supreme Court of the failed, you know, executions and stuff, and whether you could legally have a second go at putting the juice to. There's all kinds of very fascinating case law in history regarding the death penalty and stuff. Yeah, 10 lives taken according to Detroit News, senseless, mostly drug related. Yeah. Yeah, Diane says, "I'm not going anywhere till I get my picture on the Smuckers chart." I love that. Susie says, "Ever want to go back to Asia?" There was a time I wanted to, Susie, but the quality of life here outweighs any financial gain in Asia. It's like my daughter spent several, you know, months and almost a year in China. She's certified fluent in written, spoken, and reading Chinese. A test of Chinese as a foreign language. And at first she loved it the first summer, and then the second summer she was there, and it was just like the pollution in Beijing and stuff. And she's like, everybody's rich in Shanghai. It's crazy, wealthy. Everywhere you look, there's just millionaires galore, but the quality of life sucks. And in the United States, you don't need to have a lot of money to enjoy a reasonably decent standard of living. So I would go back to Asia just to visit. Yeah, Keith Walker says Robert Wagner's another one, Walking Free. I guess that's alluding to Santa Rosa's own Natalie Wood. and her death for drowning off of, supposedly off of Catalina, off the coast of LA there. The Green Mile. It was a cool movie. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what the out case of that could. Could you have a second shot at executing somebody, or is that it? But you can imagine the gruesomeness of these little shade tree executions with the hamsters on the wheel trying to generate enough electricity to do the job. Yeah, people don't respect the sanctity of life anymore. Yeah, Christopher Walken was on that boat too with Wood and Wagner. Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, just Natalie Wood was deathly afraid of water, and her greatest fear was that she would drown one day. Now, either two things happened. Either she got really tooted up and drunk and just fell over the transom in the back of the boat and just went in the water. Not likely. Or, she had a little help. No doubt that she was tooted up. But you talk about a gorgeous woman. I guess, yeah, Anthony, so people don't respect the sanctity of life anymore. I think most people do. It's just that we've created what I call a desperado element of society that just doesn't give a flying F what the consequences are anymore or something. Yeah, Ordinary, I agree with you. Ordinary World OW says, I thought she was a great actress and a good looker. Yes, she was. She grew up, lived here in Santa Rosa. Yeah. Her and Lloyd Bridges of Sea Hunt fame. And Robert Ripley of Ripley's Believe It or Not. And one of my first videos in 2013 was going to his gravestone at Oddfellows Cemetery here in Santa Rosa. And his grave marker has Believe It or Not written on the lower right-hand corner. Yeah, fear of water is a major stress on nerves. So is fear of heights. Jen can sit there and watch these idiots that do these rooftop and bridge climbing, and we always told you guys our two most horrific videos are like a guy would be on a unicycle riding around the top of a 300-foot tower, this old Romanian piece of shit tower, and going right across some old metal across the middle of the chimney and crap. I mean, it's insane stuff. Well, then somebody put together a compilation video of fails, people that fell to their death doing these crazy stunts and stuff. I can't watch that stuff. I can't do that. I cannot sit there. I mean, these people that do crane walks and go up to the top of buildings under construction, way out on the tip of the crane and stand up there with their GoPro encircling half a mile above the guy doing handstands on the snowy side of a building and then slips and goes down. Let's see. Susie said Robert was afraid Natalie was messing with other passengers. I'm just not sure, Susie. I certainly remember that situation, and I remember them talking about how Natalie Wood was so afraid of couldn't swim, and I think she got the old, as Anthony Rose would say in the Navy days, the old heave-ho off the side there. Yeah, she would not have fallen into water without splashing and spaz. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's scary stuff, Susie. I mean, you see these young people. There's this guy James something. It's tower climber and stuff, and you just know it's a matter of time. Then he's got his girlfriend out there doing the same crazy shit, and it's just a matter of time till you slip. I mean, this one guy, his latest feat was jumping from two building cranes that were facing each other, jumping from this one up here down to the tip of this one. I mean, come on, I mean, that's the kind of I can't remember his name, James something. I can't remember his name. That does this crazy stuff. Yeah, nobody called for hours. That's like Ted Kennedy and Chappaquiddick, right? When his secretary, I can't remember her name, Rosemary Woods or whatever, they drove off the bridge, and you know, first thing Ted Kennedy does is go back to the Kennedy compound and knock back a drink or two before he bothers to call the police there. Hey Jackie, how are you, sweetie? Yeah, they're tempting fate, Anthony. For what? Who's got the biggest balls? There's these guys over in Russia. They go to the top of a Moscow bridge or something, and they do backflips on top of the cable things. Come on. You know, you round your ankle or you step on a shoelace or something. Yeah, okay, Jackie said they're making a movie about that Kennedy murder. I mean, that's you know, if it was you and me, we would have been behind bars for all that time. But if you're a Kennedy, you get to walk away from that. That cost him the presidency. You know, maybe there's a little bit of family karma too that was visited down, you know. Well, that's what I say, Jackie. There's, if you think justice is applied equally in this country, you got another thing coming. Are you feeling bad, Rosie, on your sinus? I get a really slight, Bernard, I get a really slight uptick in my allergy at this time of year. I don't know, ragweed or something like that. So usually by about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, I've kind of hit a saturation point that I'm sniffling a little bit. Yeah, that's right, Susie. You think you're invincible when you're young, but taking it to launch extremes is not funny. That's the way I feel about these people that do these stunts on, you know, they go up to these buildings in Shanghai and building under construction, and they'll go up. Not only do they break into the property, but then they climb up and they go all the way up to the top of the building. Then they climb on the construction tower and they go up here all the way out to a point on the top of it, right? And the guy's shaking the thing you climb on, showing you how shitty it's built. You know, you guys, I want to tell you, I lived in China, okay? It's like they got 1.2 billion people around there. Life is cheap, okay? They're not putting real big safety. There ain't no OSHA in China. In Hong Kong, all they ever use to make buildings is bamboo scaffolding, which is arguably stronger than steel in a lot of uses. I mean, they put bamboo up 110 stories, it's fine, you know, but when it goes in a big way. But they're not fretting with catch nets and all that stuff. Let's see, Dave says the captain on the boat maintained that both Wagner and Walken were involved in Wood's death. Natalie was also into threesomes, etc. Yeah, I think that stuff backfires. Yeah, Anthony says Spider-Man. Hey, Rocket Man! Spider-Man in New York has been arrested 3 times for climbing a tall building. Guys, if you don't know Rocket Man, we're honored tonight. It is our honor and pleasure to have Rocket Man Kim Jong-un here. There he goes, in and out. That's our Rocket Man. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, Rocket Man. Yeah, I hate to see these young people do dumb shit. Remember James something? What the hell is his name? It does the climbs. We featured some of those things before, but this guy on this one in the snow, he goes to do a handstand, and his hand slipped down the side of the building, and then the other guy's jumping from roof to roof, and he's hanging on the side, and all of a sudden his weight just pulls him down off the side of the building, and he goes down about 10 stories or something. And the guys are in shock. They're like, oh, fuck, man, I can't, whoa. Like they expect him to just be standing up on the ground when he's down there. Yep, that's Rocket Man. We have been blessed by a Rocket Man visit tonight. Anyway, it's an interesting topic. Yeah, I wish it was Elton. Rocket Man. Yeah, if you ever want to watch a really wild YouTube video, just this guy that rides his unicycle on top of a Romanian tower, like a 300-foot tower, and then it has these metal across the top of it. I can't even watch it. Anthony says, we all have dumb shit in our early years, but we're smart. We who are smart regret our stupidity. But Anthony, we do dumb stuff. You know, I'm drinking, I'm partying, right? And but I'm not going to climb a construction crane. You know, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go to the top of a building and do handstands. I'm not going to jump from one skyscraper roof to another one. And then find yourself, hey, snow devs, find yourself on the side of a roof that has a little more of a slippery tin roof than you thought it would. You're just gradually sliding down. And you know what? There's nothing that's going to stop you at that point from going over the side of the building. And you have those last 10 to 15 glorious seconds to just contemplate the stupid thing that you just did as you're sliding towards the end of the edge of that roof. Yeah, after 40, we learned Snow Debs rides a unicycle. You got to watch that vid, Snow Debs, of that unicycle on the Romanian tower. Just put that into YouTube, and it'll come up. It's just unbelievable. Look at, you know, tower climb fails and things like that. That's really spooky. Look at something to drink. So that's I gave the unicycle away. I look like a clown out of uniform. That's funny. Bernard says, have you made any vids on your own stereo? Bernard, I've done a lot of videos. Which one? This Motorola console. I have a very popular video amongst the vintage audio enthusiasts about that one. I have dozens and dozens of videos. If you just go to my channel and look at the playlist, you'll see me in an elegant dress with the Motorola here. I have Andy Williams Christmas song playing on it next to the Christmas tree. I've got a ton of videos. I'm always doing repair work. I just finished the Pioneer TX700 tuner repair and restoration. And at the flea market, I picked up what they call a Yachtsman, a RCA 1959 Yachtsman. It's a marine band and an AM radio, tube radio. So be working on that. Yeah, yes. Anthony said common sense is really lacking these days. Yeah, yeah. Andy Williams, Susan, this is it. This is like the holy grail of Christmas albums. Andy Williams, 1963 Christmas album, and you know, my good friend Drew sent this to me for Christmas. How awesome was that? It's a holiday feeling. So whoop-de-doo, do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Have a happy holiday. Love that. Love that song. I have that on the video. So yeah, these things get thousands of views. There's a huge vintage audio group I'm a part of on YouTube. See, when you have a variety channel and you cut across a lot of different metal detecting, guns, baking. In October, we're going to be starting the teeny weeny micro string bikini baking again in the Friday nights from 10 p.m. till whenever in the kitchen. Yeah, this is it, man. This is just the album. This is it. I have a Magnavox console out in the garage, and the guy gave me a ton of records with it. I mean, I got Al Jolson's, you know, Mammy, Andy Williams, Tony Bennett's original Columbia records, 1962, Heart in San Francisco. I left my home. Do-do in San Francisco, ooh, ooh, high on a hill, it calls to me, to be where little cable cars climb halfway to the stars. Your golden thumb will shine. Blinky's like, thanks, Rosie. You ruined my day. Damn, I love Blinky. Singing. I was trying to, you know, y'all don't like great music. When I come home to you, San Francisco, your golden sun will shine. shine on me. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Benedicto. Oh, Susie, you're too sweet. I just ruined Blinky. Blinky shattered for her. Yeah, we're gonna do the we're gonna do. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, vinyls are having a comeback. Yep, I'm gonna be doing 2 Halloween hangouts. One on the Saturday before Halloween. I'm gonna be, I think, in the black corset and the outfit with the witch's hat, and then we're gonna do one from San Francisco. I can't do too long on Halloween night though because Jen is going in for her infusion. So. Snob says throws my underwear at the monitor. Speaking of throwing underwear at the monitor. How about that, guys, for a piece of collector vinyl? What's new, pussycat? Whoa! What's new, pussycat? Whoa! Yeah, the ladies used to go crazy, right? Tom Jones, talk about throwing your underwear up on the stage and stuff, right? A lot of ladies went home well ventilated that night. Delilah. Ooh. That's it. Tom Jones. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. Do 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 do. Yeah, I got a gold mine in vinyl back here. I do. I do. Yeah, that's me on the left, Susie. I got some really wild stuff here. What now, my love? Do 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 do. Frank Sinatra. I'm trying to find this. Oh, come on, man. I don't like Barbara Streisand too much. And this cat had like 1 million Barbara Streisand. It's got a lot of Herb Albert and Tijuana brass. Rodgers and Hammerstein. Come on, man. Helen Reddy, really? Then we got nothing to be guilty of. Oh. Come on. Ah, shit, somebody took my Al Jolson record. You didn't sell that, did you, Jen?
No.
The original Columbia Records. I left my heart. Do 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 do. Do do. In San Francisco. Remember Candy Kisses wrapped in paper? Candy Kisses wrapped in paper. This is the one Ellie was on one night. She says, "You're nothing unless you have check your collection. You probably have whipped cream. Herb Albert and the Tijuana Brass. Hmm? I'll take a little whipped cream. Yeah, Johnny Mathis. You know, I don't have any blues, Blinky, unfortunately, because blues is my favorite. It's like my favorite genre of music. Billy Ray Vaughan, Julio Iglesias. Yeah, I got Al Jolson in there. I got a zillion Streisand all the way through with the Bee Gees and I just wish I had some of that. No, I don't have any Chicago, but I love them. Yeah, I got no jazz, Susie. I got Jackie Gleason, Music for Lovers, all kinds of stuff. More than a woman, ooh, more than a woman to me. Well, you can tell by the way I do my walk. I'm a lady, do. Yeah, Bernard says I can still remember the smell of opening a new record sleeve. Yeah, ELO. I loved ELO. It's a living thing. Do. It's a terrible thing to do. Yeah, Mr. Blue Sky. Yeah, I didn't really do too much on records because when I was just coming of an age, the cassette tapes had just taken off, and I had Three Dog Night. Mama told me not to come, do 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 do. Mama told me not to come, do 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 do. She said that ain't the way to have fun, son. That ain't the way to have fun. Mm-mm. Yeah, I love Bob Seger. Oh man, he's up your way, Anthony. Bob Seger's fucking awesome. Bob Seger's Hollywood Nights. Have that L on my iPod along with Frank Sinatra. Yeah. Hi, Madeline. Nice to see you, baby doll. Big hugs to you. I miss you. Don't see you around too much. I have to say, my favorite Sinatra song is My Way. And now the end is near. And so I face the final curtain. Do la dee dee dee, la dee dee doo, love which I'm certain. Do na na do do, and did it my way, much more than this, and did it my way. Yes, there were times when I bit off more than I could chew. Yeah, My Way was interesting. Oh yeah, Sid Vicious's version of My Way. Yeah. Oh man, Bernard said my ex still got the Michael Jackson Thriller. That's a shame. That's good, Susie says. Can't spell, but I sure know my multiplication tables. Awesome. You ready to be a Berkeley upperclassman? Oh, don't stop. Susie's like, don't stop, Rosie. Don't stop. I could listen to Sinatra stuff all night long. He sure know how to bring a song. And Tara was great. Tara texted me, Rosie. She's like, I want you to watch this A&E special. It's an hour and a half on the Rat Pack. It was great. It was part one, and then I get to the end of it. There's no fucking part two. It's like they left me hanging in 1955. I'm like, shit. They didn't even talk about Joey Bishop. Like, where the hell did he come from? Thank God the next week, suddenly in my suggestion feed, there it was, part two of the A&E. So I sent that to her. Oh, man. I know Diane says, I want to go back to Tennessee. Coming home to reality sucks. I hear you. I feel so bad. Diane, I wish I was down there. I would be there with my sleeves rolled up, with my insect repellent on, and doing everything I could to bust my hump to help you down there. Yeah, Frank Sinatra was an American treasure. He was. He had his bad moments, with, walking out on his marriage with his wife and the whole Ava Gardner thing. I mean, he went through his stuff. He took a beating. He was all but declared dead in like 1952. Well, Anthony said Joey Bishop is still on fucking cable. It's good stuff, guys. Good stuff. And thanks for entertaining me tonight. I just didn't feel like editing one more video tonight. I still got lots ahead, but I'm not going to rush it out. Sorry. It's a weekend coming. And tomorrow night, Friday night restaurant reviews. We're doing Cuban, and we're going to have a special guest or two guest reviewers tomorrow night. Oh, not us, Bernard. It says you and Jen are American treasure. Well, I'm an old coot. Yeah, I love Dean Martin. Yeah, Diane says, so many worse off than I. Good time to purge and give things away to others in need. Well, that's typical Diane, two campers approach to life. But no, I'd be laser beam focused on helping you, Diane. Yeah, I would think mosquito control would be a major issue. I don't even know what, I saw they got a couple of the Key West cams up again. They have 24-hour cams down there. And it looks like, and I follow Technomatia, they had their boat at Marathon Key and stuff. They were lucky. Wow. Are you kidding? Blinky says, Susie, did you know Germany banned Wi-Fi in primary schools 2 or 3 or so years ago? Really? That's interesting. Okay, Susie said the storms are coming. Well, Susie, let me tell you, baby, right here. I got my eye on you, baby. All right, thank you, Dave. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Anthony Rose said Jerry Lewis's death didn't get the accolades of the previous of the Rat Packer. Well, he wasn't really a Rat Packer, and I think Dean Martin always kind of regretted, from what I saw on the A&E Rat Pack special. Dean Martin kind of always regretted it. Jerry Lewis sort of went on to bigger things, and at least temporarily into movies and stuff like that. And I think there was a bit of resentment there, and I think Dean Martin just enjoyed being like a solo act and stuff. But Jerry Lewis was hilarious with his early Dean Martin stuff, and at the 500 Club in New York. God, Rob, don't scare me. All those tranny bars in Key West were destroyed. Oh, the devastation. I was going to try to snag a limited engagement down there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Rosie O'Kelly. Dun, 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 do, 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 do. Yeah, I used to enjoy the telethon too. Interestingly enough, Rob, the telethon in 1998 was the telethon that 97 or 98 that I heard that Princess Diana had died during the telethon. That was like Labor Day weekend. I remember because everybody switched off the fucking telethon. I mean, the donations just went to shit. Yeah, he raised, what did he raise? Like $1.2 billion or something like that. You want to see a good later Jerry Lewis movie? And Tara and I both agree on this one, The King of Comedy with Robert De Niro. That's a good one. And Sandra Bernhardt. Yeah, Anthony says, I was in Key West 10 years ago now. It'll take that long to rebuild. Oh, okay. Rub says, I was at JFK Airport when I heard on the radio she died. Yeah, I was in Ocean City, Maryland. And I heard that she had died. Yeah, Jack Jones. That was Shirley Jones's husband, Jack Jones. Yeah. I was married in bed and my mother-in-law called. What the hell does that mean, Susan? I was married in bed. My claim to fame, I was born on one end of the table while my father was having breakfast at the other end. We never missed a beat. Oh, okay. With the news about Diana. Okay. All right. I got you, Susan. I was coming up stupid for a minute on that. Sorry. Susie said, after the CEOs and everybody's paid, there's nothing left for actual recipients. I like to think a good measure the money that Muscular Dystrophy raised did some good, because they actually have some treatments now for muscular dystrophy. I heard all these muscle nerve things, they're about this close, I think, to cracking the whole deal on these things. That's why I have a lot of hope for Jen, her situation. No, Robert Wilbur, I'm not having anybody panel up tonight. Sorry. I'm not going to be on that much longer. Maybe another hour or so. I'm just keeping it real simple. I got tired of editing tonight. I just couldn't take it. I couldn't take it again. Oh, well, Blinky said I was working for this old palm when we heard about Diane. It went down the hill from there. Palm is another way of saying an old Brit. Let's see. Yeah, illness is a moneymaker. Yeah. No, you're fine. Apologize for what? Oh, you mean the... okay, yeah. Well, you can come on Saturday night. But thank you. That's appreciated. That's appreciated, Brandon. Thank you. Yeah, that's cool. Rob said it was cool. My mom would let me stay up all night to watch the telethon. I always tried to watch it every year too, and they would cut away to, like, remember, Rob, I don't know, in your town, they'd cut away to local people, and they would be doing local shit and people would Yeah, I understand. Brandon said the drinking gets to me and is not who I am. Look, you know, I know who you are, Brandon. I know underneath of that crusty exterior there, you have a very good heart. I know that. I know that. Yeah, it was a big deal. It was a big, big, big deal. I mean, they would work for months to organize people at the local TV station, would have to answer phones and well, I don't know, Wilbur, crusty, but you know, I understand what you're about. Thank you, Joseph. I got my official Berkeley football Under Armour jersey the girls were handing out. Are you a student here? Give me that fucking shirt. Thank you, Madeline. They were giving these out when we on our Berkeley trip. As you'll see, that probably will come up Sunday or Monday. So I came back with a lot of videos. So I was driving myself crazy. Okay, Robert Wilbur said, and they keep blocking me to the after chats, and I can't see when you flash your tits. It's Robert. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's worth staying up for. Yeah, it was pretty. I was surprised, Madeline, because this is Under Armour. These things are expensive. You know, but Wilbur, you can look forward to in late October. I'm going to be doing, just like last year, the teeny weeny micro bikini Friday night baking hangouts at 10 p.m. till whenever. Grab a 6-pack and hang out, light the candles and have fun. Be making cookies, cakes, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, Blinky, I hit G. Keep blocking. Yeah, go figure. Thank you, Joseph. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, Susie said, this time of year smells like camping. Guess I'm just jelly, Rosie. You know, Susie, I'm really eager to get on the road, but I know you're concerned about Jen, but trust me when I say we're not going to be in the rig every single day. You know, probably every third night we'll be in a really nice motel or a hotel or something like that. So, high dollar. I purchased a few for my cousins in high school. Yeah, they are, Susan. They're not cheap, are they? Under Armour. The boss wants me to get Under Armour long sleeve to wear when we're out crabbing on his boat and stuff. So Under Armour is like hella expensive. Did I hear what you said on Say About Cat? Are you guys on there? What did I say about Cat? I asked her about you on her hand. She said you guys were. Yeah, I don't have Cat and I haven't had any problem. No, Cat and I have been fine. Yeah, Rory and I are fine too. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see Cat too often, so I know she was on hanging with Amanda for the Brian for the scratch off thing. She's always welcome. No, we're fine. You know, I still got her number. Still text her. Happy New Year, Cat. Yom Kippur. Rosh Hashanah. Happy New Year to all of my Jewish friends. The year 5,482 or whatever it is. Yeah, Blinky, he's down. He's in a beautiful area in Western Australia there. Yeah, we're good with Vegas fixing, and I don't think I haven't had any issue with Cat at all. I was kind of on a side chat, I think a couple months ago when she was on. And strangely, I'm fine with Lori Green too. I've never had a problem with Lori Green, and I know they've been butting heads. And Kat had tried to have a summit last night with Lori Green and Vegas Vixen on together, and I tried to watch some of it, listen to some of it today, but it's It's above my pay grade. Yeah, Rory was on a couple weeks ago. Yeah, we'll be seeing her in Las Vegas this December. Yeah, it's been too long, Blinky. We always love seeing you. Yeah, troublemakers. I love October, November, December. I love those 3 months. They're just to me like they're the payoff for a year. Hi, Alec. And then I always get depressed January, February, March. I can't stand those. You know, they just. Thankfully, this year we'll be away a lot of the time down south. Well, I hope your dog comes back, Alec. Alec's dog ran away today. I'll stay on the lookout for him. Yeah, Joseph Kane is a very accomplished prospector. When they talk about people out there kicking around and picking up a few ounces of gold, he comes back with 20 ounces, 25 ounces of gold. Hello, Childish. Yeah, March sucks the energy right out of you. April's always, for me, April's always been my worst month. If something bad is going to happen in my life, it always happens in April. Somebody in the family will die, audit, IRS troubles, just awful. And then I thought it was funny when I was in college and I took a course in T.S. Eliot, the English poet, very depressing guy. Never a happy thought, I'm more like the Mary Poppins, Disney poetry, and this is all like downtrodden stuff. But he said April is the cruelest month, and he was correct. Yeah, I guess today I had to wear a jacket today. It was 48 degrees when I left at 6 a.m. this morning, walked out the door. Good night, Diane. God bless. Don't be a stranger. I'm so glad you're home. I'm just sorry you had to go through all that misery. Best to you and the whole crew there. It's supposed to be 90 though this weekend, so I'm gonna be doing probably my one and only bikini wash for the year if it's warm enough. Okay, Joseph said my granddaughter lives in Melbourne. Awesome. Yeah, Joseph has been a wonderful friend to Jen and I. Susan's like, get coffee. Man, if I have coffee, I have to be up an all-nighter. Yeah, take your pick, Blinky. Blinky, I'm always the talk of YouTube with my selfie stick, right? Remember all those great vlogger puppet? I'll will you my selfie stick. Thank God for these things. You can get such a good grip on these things for uber stability. If there's some shit going on up ahead and there's a lot of people and you can't quite get close to what's going on, just put that baby right up over the top. That was me, Susan. Yeah, for the first for 2015 through mid 2016, there was nobody on Vlogger Puppets pages more than me in that period. It was like every freaking day. Yeah, chooching on a selfie stick. Yes, Susie, we always have sofa space. We have a whole outbuilding here, a whole granny unit shine shack. You can make some moonshine while you're here. Yeah, I know, Susan. Damn. Be right back. Check my phone. It's damn. Whenever you have Facebook, the damn thing runs down so fast all the time. All right, this is more to your liking, huh? The nice Olympus OMD EM5 Mark II. That'll be more to your liking, huh? I love it because it has the silver and black. I don't like the all black, but this is nice. The nice thing about the Olympus, it has the in-body stabilization, 5-point stabilization. It's amazing. Good night, Jackie. See you Saturday night. Yep, can't wait. I think he's like, I'll never own a selfie stick. You know, I mean, people say that. Anthony said, have you thought of renting out the Shine Shack as a B&B for visitors? Well, it's for friends to stay. You see, Tara came and stayed. You know, the boss often stays out there when he's here, the boss and Janet. But I don't know. Jen's a little skittish about having long-term people here and stuff. Want to visit Rosie, but they probably wouldn't be home anyway. It's going to be hard to catch us in 2018. We're going to spend most of the month of January in Southern California, but it'll be a lot of fun. You know, it'll be some good videos. I'm really looking forward to that. And this Bad Boys tour videos we're running now, that kind of gives you a taste of. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. I want to do stuff that's way off the beaten path, and if there's controversy, I want to be in there. I want to find out what the backstory is. I want to get right up there on the street. Yeah, that's it, Susie. Screw visitors for longer than a week. Careful, Susie. Your hospitality is showing. Yeah, Anthony would love a weekend. Would love a weekend with tasting the shine. Also, Anthony, would you like a weekend of making the shine? We can do up a special, run up a 25-gallon batch of it. Pull off about 2.5 gallons of 180 proof. How'd you like that? You know, we got some stuff in barrels that's like 3 years old now. That stuff is going to be tremendous. You're not going to fall off the perch, Joseph. You're not going anywhere. Don't even say that. We're not letting you go anywhere, Joseph. Fall off the perch. You enjoy. I believe that you enjoy very robust health. So, being an outdoorsman and a prospector. Fall off the perch. We love you, Joseph. You're awesome. Yeah, that cute fall off the perch. Yeah, do you know, Joseph, my dad's on the 28th, my dad's going to be 88. And he's already buried 2 wives with cancer, and now he has a 3rd girlfriend. And we're all like, Dad, just live in sin, please. Let's not do this again. So, oh, he does. Oh, Blinky, he's got. I wish he'd put him on YouTube. He sent us the most wonderful DVD. It had to be an hour and a half long. Of he and his wife out prospecting, and they were wonderful. Hi, Antonio Torres in the house. Bienvenidos, Antonio. He has absolutely. I mean, Blinky. He reaches down. I mean, Joseph is like a. How would I describe this? Joseph is like a. What's an animal that sinks its teeth into you and doesn't let go, right? I mean, it's just like a, I don't know what you'd call it, but he, you know, he has a big metal detector. He swings an 18-inch coil, and he'll get a very faint signal, and he goes to dig down like a 1.5 feet, and he comes up with like a 10-ounce nugget, or 4, 5, 6. I mean, a nugget, not little color in a pan, but a fucking nugget. I mean, this guy's unbelievable. Oh yeah, I have longevity, and my grandmother lived to 99, and my dad's side is old. My dad's older sister's alive. She's 90. The younger one's 81. You can't get rid of them. But unfortunately, my mom passed away from ovarian cancer in 2000. She was like a smaller model of me, just kind of kooky and wild, and had a good laugh. And Yeah, I really wish that I really wish Joseph would upload some of those. I mean, he's got really cool stuff. Looking at some of the old graveyards. Yeah, Susan, it was tough. I mean, I held my mother's hand when she drew her last breath at her side, and she was like 4'10" and full of life, and concert pianist, and uh, took care of a huge family, and was just starting to enjoy life, and got stricken with that. And she was probably 80 pounds when she died. And then my father had to go through it a second time, with his second wife. I sure will, Joseph. He's a trooper. He came out to see my daughter get commissioned in May in the Air Force. So, and with my transition and everything, he never missed a beat. He just always stood up for me. He said, "You were always a great son. Carry on. You didn't run out on your kids. You didn't abandon them. You paid the bills. You were there every step of the way, all the way through high school and college and stuff." So that meant a lot to me. Now, my mom would have kicked my ass from Kingdom Come. She would have slapped the living hell out of it. You thought Jen was bad chasing me around with a stick in the backyard and there in the back lot, My mom could slap some. You're like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah, the 4-leaf clover. Yeah, Mama was tough. I mean, she was really she was ghetto. That's where I get my ghetto from. That's why I'm so comfortable. People say, "Why are you, you like urban boondocking?" And Rob used to laugh. Rob went out. Rosie would tell people, other people want to get out to the country and have the quiet and fresh air, and Rosie wants to go to the ghetto and boondock. Yeah, that's great, Anthony. Says my mom's 77 and still running up and downstairs. That's awesome. Plan on being around a long time. That's great. But that's where my comfort zone is, in inner city and very high density. I can't go to sleep if it's quiet, if it's noisy on the street. I'm scared to be out in the country. Imagine sitting around in a fire, you can't see shit. Right? Hoot, hoot. Is that an Indian? What the hell was that? It's called an owl. Oh, do they bite? Are they poisonous? Anybody know? Got to walk over to find the nearest campsite. Yeah, it's this thing called an owl in a tree. Do these things bite? Are they poisonous? That's it. Joseph said my mom didn't like me much when I was little and didn't like me at all when I was big. When is mom's birthday? Was the Epiphany, the Feast of the Epiphany. January 6th was my mother's birthday. Yeah, Rob's like, nothing to worry about. That was just a wolf. I always thought that was cute. Rob would be, he'd be the other chats like, Rosie just is so ghetto. It's just everybody has their comfort zone. I want to be in the middle where the action is. I like to be where You have a lot of services and a lot of choices, because we were going to cook this trip, and I'll tell you, we didn't end up cooking at all. So, but that was, you know, it's very difficult to, in the middle of, you know, People's Park with 6,000 bums hanging around and tweakers to set up a, you know, start cooking. You have a line, you know, either people will start inhaling the propane, you know, or you got a problem. Has anybody ever heard of Bobcat in the middle of the night? But one time, no, but Susie, a couple months ago, about 5 months ago, I did a video. I went to this abandoned farm, and I was chooching around and nosing around, and I shouldn't have. And all of a sudden I turned around, and I thought it was a bobcat. It was a fox on top of an old tractor. And the damn thing barked. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And I thought, okay, I'm just going to die right here. So I'm looking around for something like pick up a tire and throw it at the thing. And I don't know if a fox is poisonous or what, you know, I don't know a fox from a box, right? Shit. Yeah, killer koala is grunting or something. That's cool. Anthony says my grandpa smoked and chewed tobacco and drank until 80 when he passed out on natural causes. Well, my uncle went the best way. He was always a heavy drinker, and one time during football season, my aunt walked in. It was in a Ravens game, and she just walked in, and she called him to dinner. He didn't come, and he just died in his lazy boy watching the Ravens game. You know, what a way to go, right? So they buried him in the Ravens team flag, and a couple of the Ravens cheerleaders at Spoon Bar. See you later, Jimmy. Oh, shit. Bart Skull, fuck. There we go. Let's see. Well, we've already had, what do we have? Rocket Man coming tonight. Yeah, die in sleep is the best I could hope for. Yeah. Live a good life and save your soul. Hey, Patty, nice to see you. Patty Johnson in the house. Yeah. I'm going to be on a bit longer, about another half hour or so. I'll tell you, I just didn't feel like editing anymore, Patty. I got so tired of looking at the computer and trying to match music in, and trying to, when you shoot with two different cameras, you've got to integrate everything in some is long distance, some is telephoto, Zoom video, and a lot of it's just on the street bit. It's a lot of it just got on my nerves tonight. That's great. Blinky says, yes, Rob went straight for the jugular, but because of bad dental hygiene, the tooth broke off. Wow. Yeah, it's a lot of the bottom of YouTube seems to be dental hygiene challenged around here. Oh, okay. Joseph Kane says, I said, where did I come from, Mom? She said, you didn't. We found you under a gooseberry bush. Yeah, I am, Anthony. If you do a 15, 20-minute video, you're looking at 2 to 3 hours to put one of them together. And I've got a series of 8 to 10 videos to put together. So I just wanted to take a break. Because if you don't slow down and take, I've already made some mistake on like the first video. There was a little repeating section and stuff. If you don't take your time, you just make mistakes and stuff. So you guys aren't going anywhere. So I am. I'm not going to be done for good, Susie. I'm going to be remote working. I'm going to be doing work from the road, so it'll be good. I'll still get like 80% of my pay and just be able to work from the road. So it'll be nice. I'm gonna have to work a few hours. You know, every third night or so we'll be in a motel. Oh, okay. Joseph said, must be true. She showed me the bush. But I admire Joseph Kane because if you look, I was fortunate enough to see, you know, he took time to put this beautiful DVD. Must have transferred everything from tape to DVD, and he's a very great camera operator. There's none of this wild rolling shutter from side to side and crazy zooms and shakiness. I mean, it's really nice video. It's very watchable. Jen and I were just riveted to it. And beautiful campsites along this river. I can't remember what the hell the name of it. One of these crazy Australian names for a river, but it was beautiful there. Let's see. Kevin says maybe you'll have to hire somebody to do the editing like the other people do on YouTube, huh? I don't know. That's okay. I mean, I'm you know, I've done 10,000 videos on YouTube. I'm a pretty good speed editor. What is that? Anthony said, really, Rosie, is it worth the stress of retirement? My mom. No, he'll tell you what the name of the river was. It was a beautiful, beautiful river. It had emus out there. Yeah, Murchison River. That was it. Beautiful. And I mean, I was really jealous watching that, looking at this scene of this. Had their fire going and it's got a nice travel trailer and stuff, Joseph. And I mean, just first class guy. Just Joseph, you're a class act from top to bottom. Oh, still working while retired. I guess it's more for the benefit of those that are leaving behind that are still working. You know, I often get the old guilt trip laid on me. So, okay, Murchison is on my family tree. It's just a beautiful place down there. But Joseph Kane took us around to the old cemeteries. I can't remember which particular place. I knew at the time, but it was really cool. And some of these things made of wood, they've survived because it's so dry out in the country. There, nothing really decays. So it reminded me of Virginia City. If you ever saw my Virginia City graveyard tour and stuff with the little wrought iron fencing they'd have around the graves. You're not an old relic. You're still a young, and you got a lot of gas in the tank still, Joseph. Yeah, Anthony says, Rosie, retire and let your mind rest. I just might do that, Anthony. Yeah, I wish Joseph would think about putting some of those videos up on there, some just you know, uploading that video into the YouTube, you know, the movie maker, and then just cut it up into four pieces and just send up one piece at a time. Yeah, I'm not sure, Anthony. You know, like I said, it's kind of gearing things down. You know, there's a little panic setting in where I work, the two facilities where I work. So, plus I tell you, these days, Joseph, it's really hard to hire competent people. There's so many businesses that are looking to hire people, and a lot of people don't want to come to work at 6 a.m. and punch a clock at 6 in the morning. And I'm proud to say in all my life, I never missed a day of school and I never missed a day of work. If that's not good genes or stupidity. Oh, you're smart enough, Joseph. You just go to one of these computer geek places and you just tell them you want to, you would just want to upload this into, you could actually upload it in one shot, just right off, just stick it in your computer and choose that as the spot to upload it. But, you know, I'm just saying, it's definitely worth sharing on YouTube. It's wonderful. It's very professional. And I mean, this was still using VHFs and stuff, tape. But you had some good camera skills, you know. You weren't all herky-jerky, and we liked that. It was amazing to hear him talk, too, about this is a reef up here. You'd see there'd be a flat, and then all of a sudden this rise would come up, and he would call that a reef. Now, I wish he'd taken more time to kind of explain to the uninitiated how you really choose where you prospect. Because some places you go to and say, well, everybody's already worked this area. There's nothing else left here. And how you, hi, Vicki, how you look at the ground, topographically speaking, and decide where you're going to metal detect. Yeah, they'll carry it. I understand, Anthony. I want to transition them into, you know, because medicine is evolving so fast now, and funding is going to start to be cut, and there's going to be a lot of issues here in clinical medicine. It's been a gravy train with the Obama administration. Well, that gravy train is running out. So. How's Vicky tonight? That's why it's always nice when you guys have, hi David, nice to see you. When you guys have given those little tips, they're very helpful for acquiring little things here and there for the travel. I'm a little concerned when I stop working, yeah. You know, money is always a concern. But we're happy. We're doing good. We are doing good. Look at this. Look at this whole bucket of. Look at that whole bucket of figs that I'm taking it to work tomorrow, off of our tree. I just picked them this afternoon. That's got to be a good 8 pounds of figs there. Good night, Kevin. Great to see you. Thank you, Patty says that was my son's jersey number when he played soccer in high school. You know what? You'll see on tomorrow's shoots that they were handing these out. They said, are you, you know, this is for students. Are you a student? Yes. You didn't even hesitate. Yes. I'm a student of life, you know. Let's see. The big figs, yeah. Yeah, David Smith, how have you been? I've missed you around. I hope you're doing good. Okay, take care, Blinky. Love you. Blinky's awesome. So there we go. And Vicky's making peach jam with the last of her peaches. So we probably took off about 30 pounds of figs this year off the tree. So we've had incredibly heavy harvests. We've done over 120 pounds of tomatoes. Oh, we've done peaches, probably, I still got plums under refrigeration from June. Oh, man. Unfortunately, I can't get Jen to eat fruit and vegetables too much, you know, so. Anybody here remember BOFA? I remember the Union Carbide BOFA tragedy of in India. Oh, Vicky said I had about 400 pounds of peaches. We sold most of them. Okay, let's see. David said I'm doing fine. I've been visiting relatives in Oklahoma for about a week. That's good. I'm glad to see you, David. I've certainly missed you, and awesome to see you around. Always a very good friend of mine. Both of these nuts. That's it. Yeah, they got Idaho grows great peaches. You know, I'm gonna have a plum. I'm still got plums from June. Oh yeah. Oh man. Look at that, guys. Santa Rosa plums still under refrigeration from June. Okay, David, thank you. It's really great to see you. No more thoughts on the post. I was legitimately trying to buy a boat in Florida and kind of surprised Jan, but she kind of got wind of it. Hey, Tara Boo. How are you, baby doll? No, Jen doesn't want no freaking boat. That's so good from June, still under refrigeration. Yeah, enjoyed her bailout. Ah, good plums. Yeah, doc fees, Susie, and I'm more into restoring things. Like I'd like to have like a 1950 Chris Craft, you know, and just enjoy restoring it and all that. Say, Jen, we're heading to Hawaii. The ship sucked on the ground of this uncharted desert, oh, with Gilligan and Rosie, too, a millionaire and his wife. Yeah, they're cool boats. Can you imagine? Marianne, yes. Let's see. Yeah, Vicky said my husband's restoring a boat. Lots of work. Yeah, there's a lot of boats for the taking now, Anthony. I could have had a boat for $2. All I had to do was arrange to have somebody pull it off of a bar and just pump it out a little bit. It had about 5 inches of water in the bottom. But this set sail that day for a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough. The tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow. Don't worry, guys. Rosie floats. Okay. Yeah, just to flip one. Yeah. Yeah. Where's your sailor cap? I always liked the professor. He was my favorite. While everybody else panicked, the professor always kept his cool. Yeah, Susie said, we all float. Yeah, money to be made. Yeah, Susan said mine too, the professor and the Howells. Yes. Thurston Howell the third, Jim Backus. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Susan says, can I be Gilligan? Yeah, little buddy. Skipper. You little buddy. Speaking of, where's Gilligan been? Ginger and Mary Ann, right? Tina Louise. I saw her on Howard Stern. She's like skinny as a rail. She's talking about how that show just wrecked her career. Before that, she was doing good. High anti-conformism. She was on Broadway shows, and then that show just wrecked her. Yeah, Lovey, yeah. Everything's good, anti-conformism. I hope you're okay down there in Florida. Yeah, that's right. David Smith said typecasting screws a lot of actors. It sure screwed her. Yeah, that's it, Susie. At least nobody expects much of Gilligan. But Susie, he certainly punches above his weight class and causing trouble, though. Yeah, Frances came out okay. They spent a couple nights at some flea bag motel or something that Michelle didn't like, her roommate. But yeah, Frances came through it okay. Their mobile home came through all right. Yeah, Doogie, he was on Dobie Gillis, yeah. which I can barely recollect growing up. I just remember my sister would watch Gidget and Annette Funicello and Frankie Avalon and Beach Blanket Bingo. She'd like to watch all that crap. And she'd be in her room playing that fucking music from Love Story. Where do I begin? Finally, we had it so bad one time, we just busted down her door and smashed the record. So, yeah, there's all the story of the oh, Oliver, don't leave me, and fill my life, You know what I'm saying, Madeline? You remember that? I just like, yeah, summer of 40. I just couldn't take it anymore. It was that Rhinestone Cowboy when that came out. I was working at Ocean City, Maryland at a summer resort, shucking corn all day, 13 fucking bushels of corn a day. And I just wanted to take that radio and just throw it through the window. I'm a rhinestone cowboy. Oh man! See, Madeline knows. She understands exactly what I'm talking about. You get that; it just drilled into your head. I mean, you guys don't remember the days when radios would just—they were always concentrated on top 10, and they'd always try to mix in the number 1 and 2 once an hour or so, and it just drove you nuts. You know, poor Glenn. And the Wichita lineman is still on the line. I am a lineman for the county, and I drive the main road. Searching for another overdose. Yeah, Susan Brown says, that's what I feel when I hear, all I want for Christmas is you. I don't want no stinking fur coat. I don't want no dinky diamond. Yeah, I feel the same way. And then they around here, because the guy Elmo does grandma got run over by a reindeer. This son of a bitch lives up the road, right? So they always beat that into the ground on the local radio station. See him in there watching football, playing cards and drinking beer with cousin Mel. Well, we're off to visit Mama. They just said that. They should never give a license to. What was in that plum? I guess I'm on a sugar high, Patty. And the silver would have just matched Grandma's hair. Yes, they did a movie, Vicky, called Rescue from Gilligan's Island, where they were rescued and they went back to civilization, and they had a very hard time adjusting. Yes, I did, Susan. I saw the cartoon version. Now he did Elmo Shropshire was his name, and he did some really beautiful songs on that album too. That you probably never heard. And he was beautiful, very heartwarming, wonderful songs. Cause it feels like Christmas. It's Christmas in the air. The love will be everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, they were rescued off Gilligan's Island. They did a movie. It's like the Beverly Hillbillies. I grew up on the Beverly Hillbillies, but then I found myself going back and watching the pilot, trying to find the earliest shit, Totally different music at the beginning. It was before they used Earl Scruggs, Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs. Yeah, I don't think, I think they've, Dawn Wells and Tina Louise. I don't know if Bob Denver's still alive or not. I know Alan Hale's long gone. And I think Russell Johnson's passed away. Yeah, some of the earlier Beverly Hillbilly stuff is a fucking riot with Mr. Drysdale and the early episodes when they got the feud in the South versus when they found out Mr. Drysdale was from a different clan back in Tennessee. The Moses versus the Bodkins. See, this is my curse in life, guys. When there's stupid shit to remember, I always remember it. When it's important shit, I can't remember it. But stupid trivia stuff like Granny's real name and Granny's name in the show and where they came from and all that crap. Yeah, I liked Mr. Drysdale. He was awesome. And I liked Miss Hathaway. She was pretty cool in her. They always had like a Plymouth car, Chrysler products, like a New Yorker. Okay, Bob Denver died in 2005. Thank you, David. So that was 12 years ago. Wow, okay. Vicky said, Mr. Drysdale reminds me of you. Why, Vicky? Because I'm cheap. Vicky's always texting me, spend some goddamn money, Rosie. Vicky thinks I'm living like a sharecropper. Oh, shoot. Vicky, how can a person change their ways, okay? They just call me the Jack Benny of the RV community. Yeah, I wonder if Ellie's monkey's still alive. Yeah, Donna Douglas. They do, Patty. They think I'm cheap for some reason. You don't buy Missy Jan a ring. You don't do this. You got, every RV gets smaller. Next, you guys are going to be in a Mini Cooper, living in a Mini Cooper. Shoot. Yeah, Milburn Drysdale. Milburn. Oh. Vicky, you got to have banker in your blood, honey. Good night, Susie. Love you. Thank you for the super chat tip, honey. Much appreciated. Yeah, high dollar in California. When you were raised with nothing and just kind of scrapping and making do, it's, those habits become ingrained in you. Vicky's like, just buy one good stereo. No, Vicky, I'd just rather buy crap and fix it up. Luckily, it's now worth a fortune, right, on that. Yeah, no, thank you, Susan. We do okay. I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't think I have any Glenn Campbell, but I'll trade you some of this. I've got an overdose of Barbara Streisand here. Okay, Vicky says I'm pretty cheap too, Rosie. I don't know. It's just you kind of make do. You know, I mean, the toilet paper, you use both sides, right? You know, get the 2-ply stuff here. Give some to your sister. Give the other one. Yeah, that's 2-ply. Whoa, wait a minute. There you go. Yeah, you got to be, Madeline. I mean, we just, you know, I remember one of my most vivid memories growing up was, you know, once a month or something, my mother would come home with a half-gallon of a store brand, Snatch brand ice cream, whatever the hell it was. You know, I don't know what the hell it was. Let's call it Giant Supermarket, right? And, you know, it was almost like, it was almost comical. You know, it would be a great comedy. You know, you got 10 people sitting around a table. And, you know, my mom goes to the freezer and pulls out the half-gallon ice cream and just stands there for about 10 seconds, just like she's holding the, what would you call it? The Ark of the Covenant, you know, and everybody's just looking at it and their eyes are getting wide because, you know, they're trying to figure, are they going to get more of the pink side artificial strawberry? Or are they going to get more of the chocolate side, or try to do the run down the middle, right, in the hash marks to get the vanilla, right? So you said, so she's holding it there like the prize pig at the country fair, and everybody's ooh, ah, right? So sits the ice cream down, and my father proceeds, yeah, it was like a holy grail. It was like you expected the lights to go down and this glow to come out, this from the artificial pink and brown and whites in the thing. And yeah, Neapolitan, we used to call it Napoleon. We didn't know what the fuck it was, right? So you open this to, hey, we're having a Napoleon tonight, right? So, you know, he would get he'd open up the container. You had to pull the little strip across and flip the top up, then flip the two sides open, and then open the whole thing up so everybody's gazing. It's like something out of a fucking Charles Dickens, you know, a Christmas Carol. Like you're looking at the turkey like you've never seen meat before. And everybody just sits there for a minute and they're just staring at it. And then he takes the knife and just carefully cuts 10 pieces of this half-gallon. And each of these things is like 3/8 of an you could see through it, right? And you know, you all get their plates out. You know, please, sir, may I have some more? And you know, it's very memorable how that stuff sticks with you. And you know, that's why I never bought ice cream again when they stopped making a real half-gallon, and then they reduced it to like less than a half a gallon or something. Yeah, everybody got some, you know, but I remember the oohing and ahhing when you're having all these genuine imitation flavors. And we had so many people, we didn't have seats around it. We had long benches, you know, it was like a, I don't know. I remember it used to, you know, my sister was the oldest, and it used to pass around the box of cereal in the morning. And by the time it got around to you, well, sometimes it had cereal in it, and sometimes it didn't. That's just the way it went. Yeah, they were good memories, Madeline. For the most part, it was hard scrabble, but it doesn't. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? I mean, it's. I remember my mother always had regimented meals. Monday was always hot dogs and beans. Tuesday was always, you know, like a piece of chicken. Wednesday was like a pork chop. Thursday was spaghetti night. Always spaghetti night. Friday night was his fucking codfish cakes. You know, oh man, I could never stare down one of them again. Codfish. And Saturday was like a hamburger. And Sunday was always something nice, like a round steak. My mother used to send me to the meat case to fight for the 99-cent round, the 99-cent round steak. What the hell they call that? Round, yeah, bottom round steak. Yeah. So we're not wealthy by any means. We're just comfortable here. I think they called it round steak or something like that. Oh, okay. David Smith said my dad was big on buying day-old donuts and putting them in the oven to warm them up. Yeah. I kind of thought that, you know, because things were so low most of the year, that my mother would really go all out at Thanksgiving and stuff, and then Christmas. It just made it super special. Okay, Vicky says we didn't have a lot of money growing up either. And most of the meat we ate, my dad hunted deer and elk and antelope. I don't think I ever really eat beef. I'm probably better off for it, Vicky, with not having all the weird, crappy additives and stuff. It's probably what made you such a beauty, such a robust beauty. Vicky's a beauty. She could have been in Miss Idaho, I mean. Just keep those naughty pictures coming, honey. My grandfather raised sheep, and I never, ever, to the state, can eat mutton. Yeah, I don't think mutton's ever going to pass into these lips. I think I'd rather pass a 45 in before. You know what I'm saying? You're either going to eat that mutton, lady, or it's, you know, pull the trigger. Boy, it didn't take her long. Clean up on the whole mutton. I never forget the one that Jerry Seinfeld did a show with one of his episodes. He was dating a girl that ate mutton or something like that, and he's had to spit it out in his yeah, Meli Kalikimaka to you too, John. Be nice to see you. Yeah, they called it round steak or something. You still see it round, I don't know. It used to be 99 cents a pound. All right, guys. Well, it is 10:15. I love you guys. You guys are super awesome. I'm so lucky to have you in my life, each and every one of you. Thank you for getting me away from editing for 3 glorious hours tonight. I really had a fun time. Lots of good videos are coming your way. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2 of the Bad Boys Travel Adventures. Make sure you check it out. Okay. We love you, Madeline. You're the best. Vicky, that's good. Vicky's son makes lamb. That's amazing. And everybody. Patty, good night, sweetie. I'll see everybody Saturday night, hopefully. And stay tuned for, yeah, David Smith, great to see you. And stay tuned for, good night, Susan. Thank you for the super chat tip. Appreciate it. Joseph, love you. Try to find a way to put some videos up. Jasmine, hi and bye, beautiful. Gilligan's like, where the fuck do you think you're gone? We were just talking about you earlier, wondering how you're doing. So I will see you guys Saturday night. Don't forget a very special Friday night restaurant review tomorrow night with some very special guest reviewers are going to be with us. Thanks again so much. Your thumbs up are really appreciated, everybody, and thank you.